And finally tonight, we introduce you to one woman who has made a career out of something that might surprise you.
I'm standing in nearly 4 inches of snow, and when weather conditions get chaotic, simple supplies like this bottle of water becomes a hot commodity. Treatments can vary from as little as 1 week of 5 treatments to as many as 44 treatments over the course of 9 weeks. We wanted to see what the city had to say about this lawsuit, but because they hadn't seen it, they had no comment. Galileo's expedition proved that there were water oceans on Jupiter's 4th largest moon, Europa, which means there's a possibility of life amongst the stars.
The governor of Ohio has declared a state of emergency in and around the city of Toledo. Tests show that the area's water is toxic and no one should drink it. As Mark Albert tells us, some 500,000 people now have no water. Rowe Gallery is home to thousands of different works of art. Artists range from Peter Max to Picasso. Here's Galactic Man, a Peter Max original.
Coach Heron told me that when the suspects realized that they weren't getting into this party, that's when things turned violent, with somebody throwing that chair into this window. Hollow Scream is open Friday through Sunday. The creepy creatures come out at 6 p.m., so beware of the curse.
The surprise house will open to the public in mid-August. I'm Meghan Kee. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Thank goodness, thank God, that this might be the last one.
5 days a week, you can find Catherine Hillegas in the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute.
Every day, if possible. You don't come on the weekends. They give you a break.
Catherine was diagnosed with lung cancer 3 years ago. She had a tumor attached to one of her lungs.
It's so close to my rib cage, and they have to be very careful about the radiation and not damaging the bones.
What makes proton therapy unique is that it behaves very differently than conventional radiation, and that because it's a particle, it only goes to the area that we want to treat primarily, and then it stops.
The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute is the largest freestanding proton therapy center in the world. Catherine is just one of 60 patients that the Institute is treating right now.
Toward the end of last year, we treated our 1,000th patient. We treated 1,200 patients to date.
Treatments can vary from as little as 1 week of 5 treatments to as many as 44 treatments over the course of 9 weeks. Back-to-back therapy can be exhausting, but the doctors here try their best to make their patients smile.
Isn't this awesome?
Pajama day.
Patients, like 5-year-old Caden McCrae.
He's excited to come every day. He likes jumping down the hallways with them on the blue dots and going into his room. So for him to be sedated every day, he looks forward to it.
Everyone's like family. I've never seen so many people from different ends, like the doctors and all like that, you know. I have enjoyed them so much. I wish them well.
This was Catherine's last day of treatment, but before she left, she had to ring the ceremonial bell, celebrating her graduation from the Institute. Meghan Kee, WHOV News. Blistering winds blasted Hampton roads this week with Arctic temperatures, heavy snow, and slick ice. The weather left residents defenseless as they dealt with black ice on the roads and plenty of snow pileup, only to be relieved with salt, sand, and of course, shovels. Unfortunately, not everyone was able to get their hands on those goods.
We have been to BJ's and we thought for sure we'll find nothing. We went to the store, is it Home Depot, and they have nothing. They ran out. We thought at least Walmart might have it. They don't even have somebody to help you.
I'm standing in nearly 4 inches of snow, and when weather conditions get chaotic, simple supplies like this bottle of water becomes a hot commodity. Stores were scarce on water, bread, and lumberwood, to name a few, and short-staffed.
I went to Hampton Walmart yesterday, and by the fact that they were short-staffed, they were only letting a certain amount of people in at the store, so I ended up going around the corner to find finish.
Popular shops that would normally be packed with products looked abandoned.
Family Dollar looked like they were about to close down, which was really unusual because they're always full of stuff that I need.
Next time there's a big snowstorm on the way, make sure to go out and get your supplies sooner than later, because chances are the lines will be long and the shelves empty. Meghan Kee, WHOV News.
I'm just like, oh, it happened again. I'm not completely in shock, and that's the sad part about it.
3 Old Dominion University star rugby players were hospitalized following a Sunday morning brawl near campus. The team's coach, Mike Herron, said the rugby players were throwing a Halloween party. According to team captain Michael Regal's Twitter page, the players had just won 66-6 over Longwood University earlier that day. There was obviously a lot to celebrate, but the party was cut short when several trespassers insisted to join the festivities. Coach Herron told me that when the suspects realized that they weren't getting into this party, that's when things turned violent, with somebody throwing that chair into this window. When the teammates came out to confront the situation, they were attacked. River Piercy, Robert Sokol, and Michael Regal were ambushed. No serious injuries for Piercy, but Sokol fractured his eye socket and now needs surgery. And Regal sustained a broken jaw, blood in his lungs, and is currently missing teeth. Fifth-year rugby player David Roddy is close to his teammates and hoping for the best. He visited Regal in the hospital.
We've kept him unconscious, so we couldn't really talk to him, but I mean, saying something kind of makes you feel better, I guess.
ODU senior Courtney Cleaves lives just a couple of houses away from the incident, but wasn't surprised.
I've lost a friend at ODU every single year since I've been here to some type of violence. You never know who's going to come walking up and down your street trying to get into your house.
Since the attack, 3 men have been arrested and charged. 21-year-old Tremaine Gregory, 20-year-old Kwamel Harvey, and 18-year-old Raymond Brown were charged with malicious wounding and assault by mob. None of the men were affiliated with ODU. If you have any additional information on this incident, call the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP. Meghan Kee, News Channel 3. It's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point. Is there life in outer space? NASA has teamed up with esteemed scientist Kevin Hand to work on a mission that will send drones into outer space to answer our question. Do aliens exist? The first stop is to one of Jupiter's moons, Europa.
We need to map out Europa. We need to land on the surface. We need to melt through the ice. We need to swim through that ocean.
Europa is about the size of our moon and is covered by a thick coat of liquid ice. The Galileo spacecraft orbited Jupiter in the late 1990s and early 2000s and detected flowing water underneath Europa's ice. Galileo's expedition proved that there were water oceans on Jupiter's 4th largest moon, Europa, which means there's a possibility of life amongst the stars. With a temperature of 280 degrees below Fahrenheit, 1,000-foot ice cliffs that pierce the pitch-black sky, and several miles of dense ice that covers its surface, Europa is a pretty dangerous place. Han has explored intense parts of the world in an effort to prep for this excursion, including the North Slope of Alaska, the glaciers of Mount Kilimanjaro, the valleys of Antarctica, and the depths of the ocean.
We found life forms living in some of the harshest environments here on Earth, some of the highest pressure environments here on Earth, the deepest depths of our own seafloor. Life finds a way, and so maybe if conditions are similar on Europa, life could survive there also.
Han hopes to launch his plans within the next couple of decades, so be on the lookout. Meghan Kee, WHOV News. Did you hear that? Well, you've just been cursed. The legend has it that if you hear that song, a curse is put on you, and the only way to get rid of it is to survive the night at Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens Hallow Scream event has something spooky for any thrill seeker.
All of them. We're going to do all of them.
We got our quick queue, and we're going to hit every haunted house
Everyone.
tonight.
That's the goal.
The park has 6 haunted houses, 5 territories, and 3 ghastly shows. Haunted houses range from creeping through the catacombs to being stuck on a subway car with zombies, while some territories have a more historical feel, like Ripper Row, which is based off of the old-time English serial killer, Jack the Ripper. But beware, some of Jack's nameless victims roam the park.
I work on the streets and I run from Jack. He's a killer and he's always after all of us. Be careful.
But Jack's not the only ghoul running around the park. The Vice President of Entertainment, Scott Gasbridge, explains the connection between the creatures and country.
We are based in European folklore. Busch Gardens is a European-themed theme park, so we have those characters that emanate from those different countries, like Frankenstein, who was big in German mythology. We have vampires, you know, from Romania and Transylvania.
So many monsters on the premises, little ones are advised to leave. The curse song plays throughout the park at 6 p.m. as a warning that the park has transformed from friendly to Fright Night.
Howl-O-Scream is open Friday through Sunday. The creepy creatures come out at 6 p.m., so beware of the curse.